Morris, is this on? Okay, thank you. What do you think is the greatest issue facing Northeast Mississippi residents, 1st Congressional District residents, and how do you plan to address it?
The simple answer is jobs. Everywhere you go, people are talking about that. And rightfully so. If you don't have a job, it's sort of hard to provide for your family, to work and eat, to find a decent living. But we live in a world where it's not just as simple as saying, hey, let's go create some jobs. If so, we'll just flip the switch and do it. The reality is we're in a world where we have constantly got to compete with folks from around the world. We've got to compete with them for lower wage and labor costs. We also have to compete with them in terms of places like China not honoring our trade deals and frankly cheating in a way that hurts us on both exports that are being made here but also attracting our jobs. The only way that North Mississippi can really move forward and be able to compete in this world economy is with an emphasis in prioritizing education and addressing some structural problems in healthcare and frankly out-of-wedlock birth. Now, that isn't me speaking. That's our state economists testifying to the state legislature just in the last month or so. And that's why I have talked so much in this campaign about the role of public education in moving the state forward, and why I hope to talk about it more tonight.
Congressman Nunnelee, you have 90 seconds.
Well, this is an area that I think we may find some agreement. I agree the biggest issue facing North Mississippi is the biggest issue facing America. Jobs and the economy. We may differ on the approach and the solution. I've talked to executives of Fortune 500 companies. I've talked to mom and pop businesses on Main Street. There's one word that continually comes up. It's the word uncertainty. They're afraid of what the rules are. They're afraid of what the future holds. And because of that, they're reluctant to invest capital. They're reluctant to create new jobs because they don't know what the future holds. They're afraid of new rules concerning Obamacare. They're afraid their taxes are going to skyrocket. And because of that, they're sitting back not investing that cash. I have a great confidence in the people of North Mississippi. We can compete with anybody in the world. And if government will remove that cloud of uncertainty, I think you will see an investment of capital and the creation of jobs like we haven't seen in many, many years.
Mr. Morris, 60 seconds.
I got in this race to try to remove that cloud of uncertainty because, quite frankly, it's the current Congress that is creating mountains of it. We had a transportation bill that, frankly, if they would have dealt with in the past, could have been an avenue towards moving jobs forward. Instead, they wait until literally hours before the bill is going to elapse. They wait until the very last minute to raise the debt ceiling that threatened our national credit, and that the credit agencies themselves who downgraded wrote in their report that it wasn't the size of the debt, it was this Congress's inability to act and the uncertainty they created in the marketplace. Today, we're staring at a fiscal cliff at the end of the year, once again because of the paralysis in Washington and this current Congress's absolute inability to act, absolute inability to work with anyone that isn't 100% in agreement with them. And that's wrong.
Congressman, 60 seconds.
Governments don't create jobs. Governments can create an environment where small businesses or large corporations can invest capital, create jobs. They tried it the other way. Early in the administration, they said, let's borrow $800 billion from our grandchildren, let them repay it, and if we don't, unemployment will hit 8%. They borrowed that $800 billion and unemployment skyrocketed past 8%. If we can unleash the power of the American economic system, you'll see jobs being created. But it starts with removing the uncertainty that's been created by government, specifically uncertainty around Obamacare.